Yeah, no worries. I reckon I'll give it a crack just for you, mate.
Cool, mate. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, guys. Back to you.
There you go, Sam Groth, a very, very happy winner there. And it's good to see Joyce being vocal because we enjoy hearing it as well.
Well, it's part of what makes him as a tennis player, and if it works for him and he can win, well, why change?
Well, you were part of the Newcomb Medal festivities last night, Brett, and the girls were looking magnificent.
Top shelf.
Absolutely. It takes a little while for them to get ready, but boy, they do some magnificent work. And they had a little bit of a photo shoot as well. The likes of Casey Dellacqua, Sally Pearce, Isabella Holland, Olivia Rogowska. Here's a little of their preparations pre-Newcomb Medal. So our next match about to get underway here on our feature court. It's the first of our women's round robin matches, and it features the top seed Casey Dellacqua taking on Ashley Barty. And let's cross down to Adrian Franklin, who's with the players.
Casey, I spoke to you last night. You haven't played Ash Barty before. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm just ready to keep playing some matches. I've had a lot of tennis in the last few months. I'm happy to be out here today and hopefully have a good week.
Good luck.
Thanks.
At the moment, and we wait for Ash Barty to make her way out onto court. She's had a terrific 2011 as well, and she's here with Adrian.
Ash, just spoke to Casey. You haven't played each other before. You must be pretty excited about going up against a really strong player.
Oh, definitely. I'm just going to come out here and enjoy it and see how I go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Adrian, down there. So really looking forward to this one. The top seed, Casey Dellacqua, in the women's draw, taking on a player who has really made her mark on the Australian tennis landscape in Ash Barty. Of course, the highlight among many highlights was winning the junior Wimbledon title. Won a couple of other junior tournaments along the way as well. Ranked 3 in the world in juniors and getting it done at just 15 years of age. Last week winning the Optus Junior 18s event. But she's got a tough challenge here. These two haven't played each other before. Casey Dellacqua, who's been on a good run of late, was injured this time last year and just on the recovery trail, but has really made her mark. The mixed doubles champion at the French Open, and then got on the Pro Tour here around Australia and won 7 of them. So 26 years of age, ranked 133 in the world. Let's have a listen to the umpire, the coin toss.
And the sidelines are covered, movement after your serve, and I'm calling the bases and the net. Questions? No? Heads or tails? Heads? Heads? Serve?
All right, so the toss of the coin there is we're about to get this one underway. There's been a commentary change as well. More pleasant commentary change, at least to look at anyway. Joining me in the commentary box now is Charlotte Jones, who did a wonderful job at the Newcomb Medal last night. Welcome, CJ.
Thank you, Pete.
How are you feeling? Should I talk a little louder?
Yeah, speak a little louder. Struggling a bit with the volume. Yeah, probably had fresher days than today, but hopefully this match will live up to expectations, perk me up a bit.
Well, I'm hoping it will too. It's a really intriguing match, this one. Casey, as we mentioned, is in red-hot form the last 6 Pro Tour events, and she's rarely been troubled in those events too. And there's a different makeup here, taking on Ash Barty, who has played a hell of a lot of tennis in 2011 and sees this as a good opportunity, and she comes into it in good form, having won the 18s last week.
Well, she comes into it in incredible form as well. I mean, this really, I think, is probably going to be the match of the event, unless these girls end up getting all the way through to the final. Just such an intriguing contest. Both of them, I think, fitter than we've seen them looking, and Ashley looks like she's grown a few centimetres as well. She seems a little taller than when she was at Wimbledon. So it's going to be a really good battle, hopefully, and wake us up, me up.
Well, wake you up. I'm wide awake.
I know, you're
Firing.
all over it.
Casey Dellacqua had the pleasure of doing some commentary with her down in Hobart at the start of the year and talking about her expectations and preparations for 2011, and really being the modest sort of person that she is, was really just focused on getting back on the court, playing a hell of a lot of matches and trying to get that ranking bumped up. At the moment it sits at 133. She was for a while there with her injuries playing off a protected ranking, and now that's not the case. That time has elapsed. So, but still able to get a series of points playing on the Pro Tour anyway. And I reckon if we asked her post-match what she made of 2011, I reckon it would have exceeded expectations.
Oh, absolutely. I think she'd be delighted. And I actually just had a chat with her while I was having lunch about half an hour ago, and she just seems so confident at the moment and so professional in her approach. I think that's the thing that's really noticeable about Casey. We had a bit of a chat about last night's awards ceremony.
Exchanged notes, did you?
We did. Considerably better condition than I am this morning, and just said, you know, it's difficult, those functions. She would have loved to have kicked back and had a good time, but she needed to focus about this match. You know, she several times she said needed to focus. You know what it's like when you've got a big match. You've got to focus. You've got to focus. So she's she's already started playing this match this morning, I think.
Well, yeah, wanting to get on the winners list. Also on the winners list, Nick Kyrgios, who's waiting with Adrian Franklin now.
You just beat Alex Bolt out there, 6-4, 6-4. You had a bit of trouble in the second set closing it out. How'd you feel you went?
Yeah, I played some great tennis out in the first set. I mean, I got up to a 4-love lead, and yeah, I was playing the game I wanted to play. Alex obviously plays probably his best tennis on clay court, so I know that he hits pretty heavy, and so I knew I had to take the ball early and not give him too much room. But yeah, second set towards the end, I was getting a bit tight, obviously, with the occasion. But yeah, I think my serve helped me out at the end, and I got the win.
You two guys are mates as well, so was that tough going on court playing against a good mate?
Yeah, I played him here last year, and I got him 3 in the third, and that was a long match, and that was in 18s. And when the draw came out, we were like the last 4 people to get drawn, and we were like, maybe we'll get the match up, and we got it, and we both knew that it was going to be tough, and it was going to be a rematch. Yeah.
I've also heard you're a bit of a joker out there amongst some of the younger players. What's that about? What do you do?
Well, I don't know. Like, maybe I think Andrew Whittington called me a joker in the last interview. But you know, I try to have some fun, like, with the guys. You know, if like I create a lot of atmosphere with the boys, and I think they all know that. But we're all pretty close and all good guys.
That's cool. I asked you before we came on air who you were playing next, and you're not sure. Is that something you usually do? You don't really look too far ahead?
Well, sometimes that's the case, but I haven't seen these guys play too much. But Matt Reid, obviously, more experienced player, and he's obviously a great player, and he's had some great results. So I'm just looking forward to going out there and giving my best shot.
Great work, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Nick Kyrgios there with Adrian Franklin, and well, if you ought to just tap him on the shoulder and tell him he plays Matt Reid next up, the number 7 seed in round number 2. And that is in the bottom part of the draw where Sam Groth and Marinko Matosevic will be playing as well. So we're starting to get the second round matches sorted as the players here have completed their warm-up, and we'll be looking to get this one underway in a couple of minutes or so. Ash Barty, a couple of other stats for Ash, part of the Junior Fed Cup team. Such an amazing run for them as well, amazing performance, just add that to the list. Won junior tournaments in Malaysia, won tournament in Belgium as well, reached the semi-finals of the US Open Juniors, and as I mentioned, winning junior Wimbledon as well. Ranked 3 in the world combined ranking, obviously featuring juniors there, and at such a young age has achieved so much, and really is the next potential star in Australian women's tennis.
She really is, and it was very interesting a little bit earlier this year reading some of the coverage from the Junior Fed Cup, and Ashley's really established herself as a mainstay of that team, really stepped up into that role, and you'd have to hope that it won't be long before we actually see her playing in the Fed Cup team proper.
So Barty to serve first in this opening game. And with being 15 years of age versus a very experienced player of 26 years of age. Power versus placement will be the focus of today. The power that Dellacqua can work off both sides versus the way that Ash Barty can move Casey around the court.
And watch out for Dellacqua's nasty lefty serve as well, because I imagine that's going to be coming into play today.
So just a reminder too that the baselines aren't being manned by lines people. So the umpire will be making the calls. So that's why you hear a lot of calls coming from the ump's chair.
40 love.
A good start early stages. These two haven't played each other before, and Casey, in a lot of the media that she's done in the lead up to this, talking about an opportunity to, yes, watch Ash play, but when you get out of the court and play, it's going to take a little while to get used to each other's games.
Definitely, and I think you know, there's a bit of pressure on Casey as well, because she has just kind of skipped through the last, wow, there's a forehand, skipped through the last 6 Pro Tour events, and there's a real sense, I think, with this event that she's having to step up a little bit, really impose herself on her compatriots, really kind of establish herself as that player that is the best out there at the moment.
So holds for Ash Barty in this opening game. Let's cross back to Adrian. He's got plenty of players waiting for him. Brett's man, Gavin Van Pepperzeel, is waiting with Adrian now.
Exactly right, but I'm going to go straight to the name. I just asked you how you pronounce your surname. How do you pronounce it exactly?
It's Gavin Van Pepperzeel.
Paperzale.
That's it.
Very good. So we've got that. You are Brett's man, our fellow commentator. So that's good. So you just had a good win over Blake Mott. 3 sets. How did it go out there?
Yeah, first set I struggled at the start. I was pretty nervous and pretty tight, and so he got up a break, and then I finally started actually playing some tennis, and I knew if I just stick to my guns, I was always going to win, like the first set, and then really dropped off in the second and just struggled, and then the third set started picking it up again, and got through with the win.
No worries, mate. Well, you're 19 years of age. It's an exciting time. Good luck. You got Craig Jones next.
Yep.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks.
Gavin Van Pepperzeel is the correct pronunciation. Oh, good we got that early, because we see a little bit more of him playing the #1 seed. Next up, Greg Jones.
Greg Jones, who is still searching for his first Grand Slam main draw berth.
Great opportunity this week.
And a really popular face here at Melbourne Park as well. Nice guy.
Love.
So, good start on serve for Casey Dellacqua here.
And just a question from tennis fan Mark23 on Twitter, just asking the result of the Blake Mott match. We can tell you that the 15-year-old did lose today to Gavin Van Pepperzeel. See if we can get a score for you.
Yeah, we'll get a couple of these final scores. We've got a team of thousands working behind the scenes to get those scores for you. Meanwhile, a couple of game points for Casey Dellacqua. Oh, well done by Ash Barty. She was right
40-30.
on the back fence for most of that rally. Just kept Casey playing, ball after ball, and drawing the error.
Surprised to see Casey didn't put more venom on some of those forehands. She really was just placing that ball in the court. Maybe a little bit tentative. We did see her make a couple of errors in the opening game of this match.
Out, game Dellacqua.
So on the board,
1 game more.
On serve, early stages, AO Playoff is the hashtag on Twitter. And I'm happy to bow to the Twitter expert
So
for this,
results,
rather than me just fumbling around in the dark.
Yeah, enough of the fumbling with the Twitter, thanks, Pete. So the result between Gavin Van Pepperzeel and Blake Mott was 6-4, 6-4 to Van Pepperzeel. If you do want to tweet us, if you have a question or a comment, something you'd like us to read out on air, if you hashtag it AO Playoff, then we'll find it and
15 long.
We'll talk back to your tweets.
If you want to tweet Charlotte about who she was wearing last night at the Newcomb Medal.
Sounds...
I saw a little bit of the replay this morning, looking $1 million as always.
Thank you.
Terrific follow-up.
30 long.
Good power from Barty as well. So who were you wearing?
Do you know, it's dreadful, but I don't know. I just got it, like Casey, I just got it in a shop on Bridge Road. She got hers on Chapel Street. Mine just came from a shop on Bridge Road. Very last minute.
Terrific placement in the court, down the line
Great
from
forehand.
Casey Dellacqua. Yes, it's
Hit that one a little bit more firmly, didn't she?
as you no doubt can tell, Charlotte, me in the fashion world
Yeah,
don't generally have any form of relationship at all.
Embarrassed myself in front of you by not being able to name that label. I know you're disappointed. Oh, no mistaking with that.
30 all.
Smash.
So Casey will be looking to keep the pressure on early, a little bit like JP Smith in our first match today, able to come to net off the short ball and really see what Ash Barty can do, saying, take me on. Oh, tremendous finish.
Really, really well
40-30.
played by Barty, wasn't it? Some great forehands from her there.
You and I had the pleasure of, back in June, watching Ash in action Junior Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Amazing performance out on the number one court.
It's was a pretty amazing. It was a pretty amazing experience to see. But I think we've got a correction actually to that. She's young.
30,
and
15.
she has in mind to actually put some variety into her game.
And it's almost as she's thinking to herself, well, I belong here. Whereas
40-15.
Casey now is thinking to herself, right, this is what I'm going to expect. I'm in for a hell of a fight today.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Casey, I think, has really struggled to find the range, you know, on her shots so far. She's trying to keep them deep, much deeper than Barty's hitting them, but she's missing a lot at this stage. Well played.
Yep, short ball dispatched,
40-30.
as you would expect, but still a game point to keep things on serve in this opening set. Now, tell me, CJ, I'll ask you about your Newcomb medal highlights in a moment. I've just noticed Eleanor Preston's just one of the interested onlookers today.
She's arrived. She's a distant cousin of Casey Dellacqua, so may struggle to be impartial for this match.
That's why she's not here, but can I look forward to my old sparring partner coming up to do some commentary with me over the course of the week?
I think you'll have to speak to the boss, the whispering boss.
We'll lock that in.
Oh!
Eleanor, of course, a part of our AO radio team.
Well played.
Stand and deliver inside the baseline. Well, she was a part of the team early stages of this year's event, but got sick for the first Grand Slam at about 300 for Elle.
Yes, that's
and
right.
well, she missed part of the tournament.
Game,
Oh,
Barty.
terrific backhand. Doing it off both wings now. And
I'm not surprised Casey's questioning that because I think I could see blue from this angle.
hard
Here
for
it
the
looked good.
linesperson to make that call. They're down the other end of the court.
Very.
And she hasn't been happy with a couple of calls.
Yeah,
But
I think she has an argument there.
umpire straight onto it. Anyway, game's on serve.
Very
Barty
frustrating.
leads 3 games to 2.
So, yes, I'm looking forward to Eleanor being a part of the coverage because basically she works her darndest to keep me in line. And, that's
You
always
love
fun.
that, don't you?
Absolutely.
She whips you into shape.
Let's talk about the Newcomb medal from last night. Your reflections and perspectives on last night's events.
My favourite bit, bizarrely, was the speeches. I thought the speeches by Leighton
Not
Hewitt,
yours.
not mine,
No,
obviously.
okay,
No, that
right.
was dreadful.
Just checking.
No, I thought Leighton Hewitt, Jelena Dokic and Sam Stosur all spoke very well and also very emotionally and movingly about, their respective kind of takes on their years, and Jelena, and Leighton talking about their careers as a whole. And I just thought, those were very, provided a lot of insight into the players' lives, and I really thought they were great.
It's good to get that reflection too, particularly from Leighton. He talked about Peter Luchak as well, as we heard from Luch a little bit earlier, but on his own career now, because it's fairly obvious that he's in the twilight of his career. It's up to him as to how long he runs for, but those speeches I think are important when you're on the way to retirement and contemplating, at least to be in the back of his mind.
Absolutely, I think it's great also for the fans to hear and to see and understand. And I think that, Alan Jones's speech last night about Leighton was great as well, and just talking about his frustration with the way that sometimes Leighton is portrayed. And, just talking really about what an amazing ambassador he is for tennis in this country. And I think my favourite line of the night, or it was actually just something that was up on a video screen, was that he bleeds green and gold. And I think that really is the most fitting tribute to Leighton after the years and years of Davis Cup service. I mean, I just think he's probably definitely the greatest Davis Cup player of all time in any country. I don't think there's anybody greater.
Yeah, agree with you there. Interesting here, 3 break points for Barty now. Oh, she got to it, but
15,
nice
14.
little bit of awareness from Casey there, seeing that Ash Barty was beyond the baseline, chance to come forward, really putting that drop shot. It's clearance over the net, but still facing another couple of break points.
Well played by Casey there. She was on the back foot a little bit. That lob that she hit, that moon ball, was really, quite a surprising shot that she threw in there. Then managed to just step in and actually clock the next shot. Better serve as well.
But it's a smart variation to play. She was a little bit out of position there. The tough shot, just to refocus herself and put the pressure back on Barty to come up with the big shot. Oh, missed
And
that.
Barty.
Oh, she's coming into the net, just a little off balance.
Yeah, her ground strokes to me look much more compact, I think, Dellacqua's now. And I think on the whole that's, a terrific thing. It's obviously paying dividends, but her feet were in the wrong place then.
Game, Barty.
Well, she deserved to get the break there. Ash Barty worked really hard for that
Leads
game.
4 games to 2.
Helped by a few errors from her opponent. And now skipping out to a lead, 4 games to 2 in this opening set.
This is where Casey has to start drawing on all that experience that she's racked up over 36 matches on the Pro Tour in the last 6 weeks. I suppose it is 6 consecutive titles, probably in 8 weeks. Just really, remember who she is and what she has to do out there.
Love 15.
Well, it's about keeping that pressure on now, keeping the ball nice and deep, taking the opportunity to come into the net when it presents itself.
maybe trying to play Barty a little bit at her own game, you know, a little bit of junk out there, and see how the youngster actually fares when the ball isn't coming in a beautiful kind of height and consistency and pace to her.
Love 30.
It's good to see Casey starting to hit down on that backhand as well, I think. She's starting to really take the ball out early.
Well, that is one of her favourite shots.
Yeah.
It's the strongest shot.
I think she's starting to time it a little better now.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
And again, another example of making your opponent hit every
15-30.
ball right through to the last. Great scrambling work at the back of the court, and the speed too from Ashley Barty was impressive.
Terrific scrambling by Barty, and Dellacqua really had a gold-plated opportunity there to put the smash away, and I think she just put it straight back at Barty, and from there she was suddenly on the back foot at the net. Well done.
15.
Well, able to pick off that second serve, really step in on that, and that's lack of power on that second ball from Ash Barty is giving Dellacqua an opportunity. So a chance here to break back. Ooh.
Game Dellacqua. New balls, please.
Didn't work. Third time wasn't a charm. Break
30
back.
minutes, 4 games to
4-3. Still back on serve now in this opening set. A couple of other scores happening around the place. One set all between Sanders and Babusic. And Boyana having an opportunity to close out that match. Couldn't do so. So 7-6 that second set to Storm Sanders. And going into the third set there. Sally Pearce 4 games to 2 now. Victoria Rajcic won the 4 games in a row. And in the other match on at the moment, on court number 7, looks like Emlyn Starr is serving for the first set at 6-5. They're a deuce over there. Some of the other results from today: Dane Propoggia scoring a win over Andrew Harrison, straight sets. Straight sets win 2 for JP Smith over Maverick Baines. Sam Groth scoring a straight sets win over John Peers. Gavin Van Papazale with a 3-set win over Blake Mott, and Isaac Frost with a straight sets win 7-5, 6-3 over Andrew Whittington.
Tom.
Well, an important whole break of serve there for Dellacqua to get this first set back on serve. Well, that's exactly the kind of experience that she needs to draw on. You know, she'll have done that dozens of times in the last few weeks, had a little wobble, and should be pretty confident now that she can steady immediately, get her nose back in front.
Well, she also knows what to expect now, so had an opportunity over 7 games to see what game she was going to be presented with today, and now the opportunity to adapt to it.
Late second serve.
And another double false for Casey. She's had a couple in this match. There's incredible depth. Incredible depth.
15-30.
Really great play by Barty there. Just sticking to the program, mixing it up, making Casey run.
30 all.
So it'd be important for Barty to keep her consistency up through this match. We've seen those flashes of brilliance able to get the break a couple of games ago, but from time to time there are those lapses that come through.
Casey looks so frustrated with serve at the moment.
(40-30).
Another opportunity off that second serve there for Barty. Just couldn't take it. This is the blue group of matches that we're looking at the moment, featuring Casey Dellacqua, Ash Barty, Stephanie Bengson and Emlyn Starr.
Yes.
That was an amazing return.
And it's a tie break out on court number 7 in that opening set. Well, with the struggles that Casey Dellacqua was having on that second serve, Barty that time able to run around that ball and really put the pressure on. So a break point again presents itself.
Yes.
Great way to save it. That lefty serve out wide always comes in handy.
Would really help Casey to start getting a few first serves in though. It's risky relying on that big sliding second serve.
Advantage Barty.
I've seen Barty actually hitting a much flatter ball in this game, hitting it much harder, penetrating deeper. And again, that sort of change up of tactics seems to have got Dellacqua on the back foot a little bit.
Out game Barty.
So Barty breaks again. 5-3 now in the opening sets.
Barty leads.
And the pressure is all on Casey Dellacqua. Barty now is serving for this opening set. A little bit of a surprise, CJ.
Well, a little bit of a surprise. I think a really challenging match for Casey first up, and I don't think that this one will be over after the first set by any means.
Wow.
So if Ashley keeps hitting backhands like that, it might be over in a couple of games. You know, I don't think it'll be over after the first set. We've seen Casey year after year fight in matches. But Barty certainly made a really good start and played a really, really smart game so far.
She has, as the unforced errors continue to flow from the Dellacqua racket. And on court 5, Sally Pearce has taken the first set from Victoria Rajcic.
Rajcic did very, very well in this playoff a couple of years ago, didn't she?
She did. I think semi-final stage.
Yeah. Lost track a bit of her. I don't know where she is now. Check her out.
Well, she's on court 5 at the moment, CJ.
Thank you for highlighting that.
Happy to help.
That's why you're on here, isn't it?
Lucky I use that.
She's so helpful.
Lucky I use that line with you and not Eleanor.
Why? Because I'm too slow to respond to it.
No, you're too nice.
Out 40-15.
So 2 set points now for Ash Barty. Casey Dellacqua now with a bit of work to do. And that's out 2. So the first set going to Ashley Barty. And the junior Wimbledon champion is getting the job done. couple of breaks to serve there, and opening the door to take that opening set here at the AO Wildcard Playoff. Some of those other scores, the third set, 1 set all between Sanders and Babusic. Babusic leading 1-0, and a chance there for Emlyn Starr out on court number 7 to take that first set 6-3 in the opening set tiebreak. She's playing out on court 7 against Stephanie Bingson. So plenty of action to look forward to coming up after this match. We've got Luke Saville taking on Chris O'Connell to end our session of play. A couple of other matches which we'll talk about happening around the courts as they come up, CJ. So I think time now to go into the grandstands where our man Adrian Franklin is operating with the boss. At the moment he's just gone straight to the top, and he's got Craig Tiley alongside him. Adrian.
Thank you very much, guys. Yep, let's just, hello, up there. Craig?
Yes, concentrate.
Concentrate, please. Last night, the Newcomb medal. What a celebration that was. What did you think of the event?
Oh, it was a fantastic event. It was a great night celebration of tennis. Over 700 of the hall filled with some great tennis people and legends of the game. And I said last night, it's very difficult to get everyone in tennis in one room at one time, and we certainly were able to do that last night. And everyone that put the event together should feel proud of last night's accomplishment, because if that's the beginning of how the summer's going to be, we're in for a good run the next few months.
Yeah, absolutely. As Casey just serves an ace down the middle. Have you watched much of this match? Ash is obviously doing incredibly well out there.
Yeah, I watched. She was up 4-2, and then Casey brought it back, and I thought Casey would get back in a bit of a roll, and Ash closed it out. So it's this is an interesting matchup. I don't think Casey's so had a great run coming in. I think he's won six of the last tournaments that she's played.
Yep. But
now it's definitely more challenging for her, which would be good preparation for her, and the same thing for Ash.
Ash is obviously a phenomenal talent out there. I think she's just so composed and also quite creative. You've seen a lot of her play. Where do you think she can go?
Well, she's mature beyond her years. I mean, you don't think that with the age and the experience that she would be as composed as she is. I think she can reach to the top levels of the sport. Not easily, because it's not easy for anyone, but she has a goal to get up there, and I think that she'll realise that goal. I think she's that good.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite remarkable when she obviously won the Wimbledon junior final earlier this year, and just the understatement at the end when she was celebrating. I mean, there was hardly even a celebration by her. Do you see something like that in a young player and just think, wow, pretty significant?
It is, and it's a good point, and I think she just takes it in her stride, and it was like it was exciting for her to win it, but you could get the sense from the way she reacted that was just one step in her journey, and I think that's why she's so special. She's got if coaches refer to it as the X factor, there's certain things that you can't teach and just exist. And I think there's no question that Ash has the ability and skills, with more improvement and more experience, to be the best in the world.
And the December Showdown obviously hasn't been going for too long, but it's grown significantly over the past few years. Where do you see this event over the next sort of 5 years? Obviously we want to get as many people down here as we can. That's perhaps the next step.
Right. Well, it is. I mean, these are superstars of our sport. Casey Dellacqua was, in 2008 had that fantastic run at the Australian Open. You're playing on the first day of the playoff, playing against Ash Barty, and Ash is, Wimbledon junior champion and one of the stars of the future. So, there's this one example on one court. On all these courts out here, we've got some fantastic matches. It's free for fans to come in, and I think if you have a look, there's more and more people out here every day, and I think in the evenings and on the weekends we'll see even a lot more people, because they can see some of the players that are getting ready for the Australian Open out here practicing, and then also come out and watch some great tennis. So I think that this event has grown. We started it just as a playoff for the Australian Open, and now it's grown into where we have the 12s and the 14s and the 16s and the 18s, and have the teams championships, have coaches meetings, have all our planning for 2012. So it's become a real festival of tennis, and that's why last night was so special. Must I stop talking? That's why last night was so special, is because it was, you know, part of that festival.
Yeah. And so just over the next couple of months, obviously there's a little bit coming up for you. You're tournament director of the Australian Open and head of tennis in Australia. So what's a day in the life of yourself in the next couple of months?
Oh, it's a fun time. Yeah, we have a great team, and it's a credit to the team getting the site ready, putting the event on, and you know, I'm just privileged to be in a position where I'm part of that team, and I'm full confidence in the work that they do, and you know, during that period, particularly during the 2 weeks of the Open, it's just all the challenges are around scheduling matches and avoiding any, we're trying to get your hand on anything that unforeseen that may happen. There's a great rally going on right now.
I'm not listening to anything you're saying, by the way.
I didn't think you were. I wasn't either.
Round of applause. There we go. Give it up. So we're sitting at 1 game to love Dellacqua in the second one. Yeah, that was a phenomenal rally. I'll let you go, but the last one I did want to ask you, I spoke about David Drysdale. He hit the dance floor last night. Unfortunately, it must be said.
Did he fall?
Well, no, I mean,
he hit the dance.
when I say hit, I mean, that's a Gen Y sort of statement. I'm just saying he hit it, he got his booty going.
I know Gen Y statement.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, question to you then. Did you break it out, break it down?
It depends what you talk.
Pull some moves. Did you dance, my man? Did you
break it down? I had a quiet night last night because I'm saving it for the staff Christmas party on Friday night.
Oh, does this man bring it out on staff Christmas party? That's what, this Friday?
Is it this Friday?
Yeah, I guess if you don't know.
No, I didn't know that. It's good to know that. Where is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, we're looking forward to it. I think, again, there's not too many opportunities for all the team to get together and socialise before January. So I think that'll be another opportunity for us to do that, and you know, then go into a big month in January, which is going to be a fantastic event. I think it's going to have weather like this. That's the long-term forecast, and we know we're getting all the top 100 men, top 100 women, and we know the site's going to be reinvigorated. So we're excited about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's always fun, but we'll head back to the commentary box and continue on with this match. But good luck for the next couple of months. Not that you need it.
No, we all need it. But no, we're excited. The showdown's going fantastically, and I think, yeah, I mean, matches like this for the first days is an indication of the strength of it, and it's fun for me to personally see as well the development of some of our younger players come through now playing some of the older ones. So that's a particularly fun part of it. But this will be a good match. There's a lot of tennis left here.
Thank you very much for your time, Craig.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
The Gen Y, Adrian Franklin. Well, I'd like to think he is anyway.
Mixing some of his Gen Y metaphors, I think.
Yes.
There. Buster move.
Just trying to impress the boss. That was the problem.
Bust wasn't buying it.
However, if there's a way that we maybe could sneak a cheeky camera down into the staff Christmas party on Friday night just to see whether those moves will be busted. Hidden camera style.
Yeah, handbag camera style. On a serious note, I do think it's great always to listen to Coach Tiley talking about the players, because you just get such a great insight. He's seen so much and, you know, coached so many fantastic players during his career. I just think you get an incredible insight into, you know, their potential apart from anything. Very interesting to hear him talking about Ash and her attitude and her approach.
Well, certainly a good attitude at the moment. 1 game all here. So a chance for Dellacqua to hold, keep things on serve in this second set. You see, again taking full advantage of that second serve. I mentioned at the start I thought it'd be power versus placement, but at the moment Ash Barty's got it all.
She certainly seems to have, doesn't she? She's still mixing it up so beautifully as well, and she's really making Dellacqua move. I think, you know, that as much as anything, it's a pretty amazing effort to test Dellacqua's movement at the moment because she is so agile on the court.
Well, absolutely, and the ability to dictate terms. The match is definitely being played on Ash Barty's terms at this stage. He's the more aggressive player, and Dellacqua's scrambling.
First serve.
So, breakpoint opportunity here for Barty. That's
Game.
missed.
Barty.
So Barty has the break now, 2-1 in this second set.
Barty leads 2-1.
First tiny sign that maybe Dellacqua's feeling a bit more than frustrated out there.
Well, it's more a question of now how Casey can turn this around, because she needs to wrestle back control of the match. Otherwise it'll, sadly for her, be gone very quickly.
It's a curious one, isn't it? Because there's really nothing wrong with the way that she's hitting the ball. She needs to cut down the error count on the serve, also on the forehand. But really, you know, she's doing what she does. It's just that Barty is so composed and so methodical about what she does. I think it's probably going to come down to psychology, this one.
Yep.
I think there's a huge psychological angle to this match. And at the moment, I think that Barty is handling it a lot better than Dellacqua.
Well, so far she's shown no fear. There's no sign of nerves out there. You suspect maybe the game goes on, as she gets towards the stage where she might have to close it out, so that she might feel a little bit. But Craig Tiley talked about her maturity and how important that's been in her development.
Love 15.
I don't think she'll feel too many nerves out there.
No, that's right. And, you know, whatever anybody says, I think that there's a different complexion to a match where, or, you know, to an event where you're playing everybody from your country rather than just international players who, you know, you kind of play week in, week out. It's very tough to play somebody that you haven't played before.
Yeah.
And there's that whole kind of aura that surrounds these matches where you're playing, you know, your countrywoman, and there is a great deal of honour at stake.
Oh.
Wow.
30-15.
Cranked it up for that one. Wants desperately to consolidate this break. Oh, and again, excellent follow-up.
40-15.
I think the interesting thing about Barty is that, you know, she can hit a tremendous shot or she can make an error, and she just looks exactly the same. She's like that Rudyard Kipling poem. She's a personification of if.
She's out of sorts now, Dellacqua. This game,
Barty
this
leads
match,
3-1.
sliding away. Break consolidated in the second set. 3-1. If you can meet with, what is it, triumph and disaster,
and treat those two imposters just the same.
Adore it. We should know that. We were there in
We
June.
were, as you keep saying. Brett, did you catch that? We were there in June.
That's wide.
Love 15.
So really, if Casey drops this match, it'll be a wide open blue group now.
It would be. You'd never ever want to drop the first match in a round robin because it just puts you on the defensive from the outset, and you really have to start relying on other people's results if you've got a hope of
Oh, she's
making
missed that
it
too.
through.
Love 30.
Sorry, Charlotte. That's another overhead that she's missed. Tough with the sun where it is at the moment, but even still. And you're right, because then you don't want to be relying on sets and games and have to go into countbacks and the like.
Somebody else beating someone who's beaten you when they've never beaten them before and all of those things. Been there. Don't like it.
Just
15,
some other scores from the outside courts. Sally Pearce taking the first set from Victoria Roach at 6-2 and leading 3-1 now in the second. And 3-1 Storm Sanders in the third set, leading Bojana Babusic. And I believe Emlyn Starr, I think, out there has
And
the first set 7-6 and leading 2-1.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe you can see that.
Out.
Just
30 all.
telepathy from the scoreboard.
You just got it wired in.
Yeah.
Hardwired into your brain, behind your eyes.
It's good to get back into tennis mode again.
It's fun, isn't it?
Terrific
That was
serve.
a great serve.
Yeah, jamming body serve that time. And really now, Casey just looking to keep in touch in this set.
Out.
So Dellacqua holds. Barty still with the break though. 3-2 in
Barty
this
leads
second
3
set.
games to 2.
So just winding up on the Newcomb medal, CJ. Some of your other highlights. What about the fashions? Because we talked about the fashions earlier, and again, I just stepped away. You
Turned
looked
a
$1 million.
blind eye.
You know, no, I was looking, but you looked $1 million. What's some of the other players?
You know, the girls scrubbed up really beautifully, and Prue Ryan, of course, here put a tremendous amount of effort into sourcing gowns for all these girls. And
I thought they just came out of her cupboard.
yeah, yes, that's right.
Just
They're
a-
just
wha-
her
an
old
outfit for
Sunday
every
dresses.
outfit for every occasion.
She
really.
wears one of those it's December. So you know they look gorgeous. A variety of Aussie designers. Jason Stoltenberg in the crowd watching this match.
I believe it's done a bit of work with Ash Barty.
Time.
Nicole Pratt's on the left-hand side.
It's good to see a few people starting to drift in. It's free today.
It is.
Free all week.
But I notice you've conveniently changed the subject.
Oh, the dresses. Ooh. They were great. There were lots of sparkly ones and lots of floor
Love
length
15.
ones and lots of asymmetric necklines.
What was your co-host getting
Sequins.
around in?
Very on trend. Co-host was wearing a very smart black jacket, black tie, white shirt.
He tells me it came
On
from the
trend.
house of Tajay.
No. It looked more, looked way more designer than that.
Love 30.
I
So-
think he actually bought a new white shirt for the occasion.
He wouldn't have bought it.
No. Oh.
Mrs. Co-host would have bought it.
Mrs. Co-host, Mrs. Anchor.
So opportunity here for Dellacqua now at love 30
Love 40.
with 3 break points, but a black tie event, of course.
It
so
was a black
the
tie
men
event.
just-
Pat Rafter bucking the trend and wearing no tie, which only he can get away with. And he got away with it very nicely, I have to say.
Out.
Too big that time.
15.
Yeah, I'm
40.
tipping there would have been too many complaints from the females in the audience.
Yeah, he was allowed in, strangely,
Yeah.
in spite of misreading the invitation. They let him in.
Imagine he would have been popular on the night.
Some great play.
On the
2
line.
points there by Barty. That's amazing.
Oh, 1-2. Just a beautiful cross-court ball.
She's gone in this game from being very much on the back foot and Dellacqua being all over the ball, and she's completely turned the tables, hasn't she? Very aggressive now and attacking, really fighting her way, trying to hold this service game.
Still with a break point. Oh, the lucky neck cords. Well, it's
Yes.
all going the way of Ash Barty at the moment. Saving 3 break points. It's not the first time the net has helped her today.
Not today.
Again, the 1-2 set-up play.
Advantage, Barty.
And full advantage stepping inside the baseline, giving herself game points to go to 4-2.
Just so impressive, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's so calm and methodical and matter-of-fact about it.
Yes.
It's been getting a lot of assistance from Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley. They chat on a regular basis.
Yvonne presented Ashley with her Junior of the Year award last night.
Gee, and again, Dellacqua looking to run around that ball, just not coming off, and just cool, calm and in control. Ash Barty survived a series of break points in this game. I think it would give Yvonne a bit of a kick as well to know that you'd be able to mentor a young player. She's been so involved with tennis for such a long time.
She's such a motherly person as well, Yvonne. She's so lovely. Be no bad thing to have her in your corner.
That ball was set up nicely for Dellacqua to put it away. Sally Pearce now serving for the match out on court number 5. Oh, that just fell over.
Advantage,
That really did.
Barty.
That backspin on that
Yeah.
ball.
She's got a great way with these drop shots, hasn't she? She's played them consistently through the match, and with the exception of maybe one, they've all been real rippers.
Yes.
It's a long game, this one, but an important one for Dellacqua. Try and get this break back. Sally Pearce, sorry, CJ. Sally Pearce scoring a 6-2, 6-2 win over Victoria Rajcic.
Advantage, Barty.
Gee, another big serve. Well, finishes
Barty.
it off in style. A composed game under a bit of pressure. And
Barty leads 4 games to 2.
consolidates the break. So Sally Pearce scoring a win there, as I mentioned, in the yellow group.
I think Sally's in a very interesting point in her career as well. You know, had amazing results in
15, love.
2010. Bit of a kind of a plateau and a consolidation year this year. And really, I think, would love the opportunity to step up at the Australian Open and try and get a couple of scalps under her belt.
Yeah, well, the time is now. She's had plenty of preparation. She's built up that experience.
30 love.
The opportunity to play in some main draws.
Love.
Just missing there, so an easier game at this stage for Dellacqua. If you want to catch any of these players. At Ashbar69 is Ash Barty's Twitter handle.
Game Dellacqua. New
Dellacqua
balls,
holds,
please.
but Barty still with the break 4-3 in this second set.
Barty leads 4 games to 3.
And if you want to follow Casey Dellacqua, it's pretty simple. At Casey Dellacqua, though back in January she said she doesn't use Twitter all that often, so...
She started. She's been tweeting quite a lot recently. Getting hooked, as you and Brett are, I believe.
Yeah. I have a Twitter account.
Connecting with your fans.
I have a Twitter account.
Reaching out.
I just have never sent a tweet. Is that bad?
It's terrible. Do you know what that makes you? It makes you a Twitter stalker.
Really?
Because you just look at other people and you don't contribute to the conversation.
I don't really log in. It's okay. It just sits there.
Well, I've seen you sitting next to me checking your tweets.
I've been checking the tweets from our hashtag of AO Playoff.
Yeah, sure you have. Mopping up other people's conversations.
Hashtag AO Playoff.
Well, that was a much better game from Casey, and really, you know, she just did need to come out today and play like that. She is the senior player.
Done.
She's a top seed in this event. She's the senior player on this court and really just needs to come out and do what she does.
Spot on. Absolutely. And needed, as you say, an easier service game. Just
Yeah.
to relieve the pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
Now refocus and say, right, how can I break here?
And make Ashley think about closing this out as well, I think.
Oh, and again, it's dropped in. Again, working from the back of the court, chasing everything
15
down, and again coming up with the results.
And Casey just not putting the ball away when she gets the opportunity. You know, she's taking such a commanding position on the court, and then she's just keeping the ball in play.
Not really pressing too much. Luke Saville and Chris O'Connell is our final match for broadcast this afternoon. It's coming up after this one. Terrific poise and middle of the court as well, and no man's
13,
land,
15.
just playing the angles perfectly.
Your helicopter was about to land
No,
on the
that's
court
the,
there,
that's
Pete.
the Craig Willis chopper, just doing some reconnaissance work to
Thought
drop
that
the
was
great
your
man in
ride.
January.
That was your ride.
Well, he has threatened to take me on his chopper once. But he hasn't quite followed through with the invitation. He's thrown the invitation out there, but every time I go to find him to say, look, I'd like to just, take me down to the farm, or, just drop me off at my home, and he's
traffic.
gone. He's generally gone.
He's like lightning.
He disperses very quickly.
Let's first serve. $40-30.
Well, Casey got her head in her hands. She's not happy with the call, but there is a lines person on that centre line, so in perfect position for that. And now Ash Barty, chance here for 5-3. Just taking the line.
Yes.
Just taking the line. Barty having a little bit of a look around. great finish.
Advantage,
So,
Dellacqua.
Twitter stalker. But what if you don't have anything interesting to say? There's no point in
Everybody.
tweeting for the
If you're on
sake of
Twi-
tweeting.
If you're on Twitter, come on, Pete. With your incredibly glamorous sport-based career, how could you never have anything to tweet about? You are constantly
Clearly,
moving in elite sports circles.
clearly haven't been talking to Eleanor
Tell
recently.
me, looking down here, that there's not a twit pic right there.
Oh, pictures I
This
could
is
do.
office of the day. Well, you're allowed to tweet pictures. They're called twit pics. Do we need to do
I think I
like
need to
second semester? Maybe we
I
need
think,
some
yeah,
revision.
I kind of failed first semester.
Yeah, I think you
and,
might be kept back.
yeah.
You might be doing summer school, I'm afraid.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Although I did have fun, obviously the individual tournaments in the AO series have their
Yeah.
own Twitter, so I enjoyed doing that for the Hobart event.
Did that very well.
Scared the hell out of you because you weren't sure who was doing it.
It's all right. I knew it was in
Outs-
safe hands.
Advantage,
Yes,
Barty.
Safe
and then,
wings.
and then you knew it was me. So
Yeah, I thought it was in safe hands. Something like that. I don't know. My memory's hazy. It was all traumatic.
a couple of scenes
It's
missing.
all fine. We're still here.
Exactly. We survived, everyone. Nothing to see here. Except a game point for Ash Barty. Take this out to 5 games to 3. Now,
Game,
just missing,
Barty.
it's just wide. 5-3 now in the second set after taking the first 6-4.
Barty leads 5 games to 3.
And real danger signs now for Casey Dellacqua.
Yeah, I'm a bit mesmerised actually by this match. I keep kind of thinking she's going to steady a little bit and really steel herself and string together a few points. But with every service game that Barty holds, you just feel like time's running out for
Yep.
Casey.
15 love.
So I want to cycle through this service game pretty quickly.
Really try, well, last chance to put the pressure on then.
$15 all.
Again, just keeping that pressure on. It's been such a hallmark of the Barty game today, the fact that she's been able to put the foot down, keep the pressure on, keep those balls in deep, and Casey really hasn't had an answer.
No, and it's just, you know, I guess if you just look at the scoreline, this actually looks like quite a straightforward match. But it's quite fascinating
30,
to
15.
look at the dynamics out there and to just get your head around what is happening here, because Casey has been unbeaten for 36 matches. You know, she's the top seed in this event. She's been so dominant on the Pro Tour. And, you know, I think people talk about a match being challenging psychologically and
30 all.
taking on an up-and-comer being very challenging, but, you know, it's just all playing out in front of us. It's incredible.
So 30 all here. Dellacqua serving to stay in the match. And now she is just 1
30,
point
40.
away. Taking the match.
Game,
And there
set,
it
match.
is.
Barty,
So a bit of a surprise here.
2 sets to love. 6-3,
A straight
6-3.
sets win, a pair of threes as well. 6-3, 6-3 the final score. And Ash Barty in that all-important group, blue group, has knocked over the top seed and hot favourite to take out the wild card. An amazing performance here and magnificent work from the youngster.
She's completely impassive you would have no idea that she's just done that. It looks like she's just won a pennant match on a Saturday afternoon.
That's right.
Just completely deadpan. It's going to be very interesting to hear her reaction.
So 6-3, just confirming that score. 6-3, 6-3 here in double quick time, and Casey a little out of sorts today. She'll be bitterly disappointed with that performance. And just to answer a question from one of our tweeters, Adam Bain, Ash Barty's world ranking, well down the WTA senior rankings, but she's ranked number 3 in the world in juniors. Played a hell of a lot of junior events this year. She'd be pretty excited, I'd imagine, as she's there talking to Adrian.
Ash, Casey, I think, had won 36 matches straight. You've just broken that record. Not a bad effort by you.
Well, yeah, I played pretty well today. I know Case didn't play her best, but I'm just happy to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, the composure, the guys in the commentary box were speaking about the fact that you're out here just fully composed all the way throughout the match. Do you get a sense of that? Are you thinking about that, or it's just absolutely in the zone?
Maybe what other people see, but underneath, I'm definitely not like that. But I've learned to control my emotions by showing them, and yeah, just pleased today.
Do you know where that came from at all? Has someone spoken to you over the years about composure, or is it just something that comes naturally?
It's a little bit of my personality. I'm not too much of an extrovert, so I'm just trying to, just be normal.
Do you know who you've got next?
No, I haven't had a look at the draw actually, so I'll just go home tonight and try and prepare for it my best I can.
And is that something that you also try not to focus on? What's coming up next, just one match at a time?
Oh, definitely. You can only really play one match at a time, and you can't worry about too much what's happening in the next few days.
And do you have a bit of fun out here playing at Melbourne Park leading up to the Australian Open? A lot of people around watching. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, definitely. I love playing at Melbourne Park. It's obviously the home of the Australian Open, so it's just really good to play here every year.
Well done. Hopefully I can speak to you again after your next match.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Adrian, there with Ash Barty. An amazing performance, straight set, 6-3, 6-3, and really now has thrown that group, that blue group, wide open with Emlyn Starr and Stephanie Bingson playing out on court number 7 at the moment.
Just remarkable, Pete. I'm a little bit shell-shocked. I did think after Casey dropped the first set that it would at least go to 3 sets, and I thought it might shape up to be a little bit more complex than it did. But, just such a great performance by Barty. She is so composed. She's so self-assured. And, really interesting just to hear Adrian talking to her, just to get a little bit of insight. Because, she clearly, you can tell just by the interview that she isn't the world's greatest extrovert. So, she's a very interesting, complex character. And I look forward to kind of learning more about her as this week continues.
Well, you can see they're the biggest media contingent of the day on this match, and for Casey, back to the drawing board. Now the streak's broken. I guess a little bit of pressure off there, but now an opportunity just to regroup and try and get a few more wins.
Yeah, and Pete, you make a really good point. A streak like that, at some stage, Nadal, his streak ended, Djokovic's streak ended. It happens to everybody, and in a way, possibly, looking way into the future, probably better for Casey's streak to break now than for her to go into the first round of the Australian Open, for example, with a streak like that weighing her down, because then there would be some pressure.
Absolutely. So 6-3, 6-3 the score here. Out on court number 5 earlier today, 6-2, 6-2 was the scoreline for Sally Pearce over Victoria Rajicic, and Adrian Franklin is with her now.
Sally, well done. Great win over Victoria. You were down 2-love in the first set, and then you went on a demolition run. How did it feel out there?
I was actually really nervous to start off with. Haven't been able to find too much form of late, so it's just really nice to be able to get out there and started off a bit slow but relaxed into it and then started playing really well.
I spoke to you before we got on air about who you've got next, and you didn't know. You've got the round robin draw, but is that something you just don't even think about, what's coming up next?
Yeah, I just try to take it match by match, even point by point, and not try and look too far ahead. You've got to pretty much win every match in your pool to go through, so I'm just taking it each match, and I either play Storm or Bojana Babusic, so we'll see. I think they're still out there at the moment, and I've played Bojana before but not Storm, so either match will be tough.
Great work, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Nice work, Adrian. Thank you for that. A strong win for Sally Pearce. After a slow start, she was 2-love down in that opening set, but got her game going, and the women's match is starting to wind down, but I can tell you the men's matches continue. This is first round action coming up next on our feature court. Luke Saville taking on Chris O'Connell. So plenty to look forward to, but the first day of the Wildcard Bluff off to a great start.
Off to a really great start.